Hey guys, since this week we are each teaching a factoring method, I thought I might share with you a little trick that I learned in high school for factoring trinomials. So take a look and tell me what you think. Okay, we're going to go through 3 examples of factoring trinomials in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. The method that I use is pretty much going to be the grouping method, but there's a slight twist to it, and this twist is what I learned in high school. And in high school it made it pretty easy, and so anyway, I'd like to share it with you guys and see if you like it. Okay, so the same way that we start off with the grouping method, we're going to start off here. We're going to take the first and last numbers and multiply them together. In the same way as the grouping method, we need 2 numbers that multiply together to give me negative 90, but when I add them up, I get the middle term of negative 13. So I'm going to list out all the terms, or all the factors that multiply together to give me negative 90, or multiply together to give me 90. 1 times 90, 2 times 45, 3 times 30, 5 times 18, 6 times 15, and 9 times 10. The combination of numbers that multiplies together to give me negative 90 but adds up to give me negative 13 is 5 and 18. I'm going to make 18 negative, and that would give me the negative 13 sum. Here's where the twist comes in. I'm going to make these fractions. The numerators are going to be the numbers that I just said. The denominator is going to be whatever number comes in front of the x squared term, or the variable that's being squared, the first term, 2. Now what you're going to do with these fractions is you're going to simplify the fractions as much as possible. Negative 18 over 2 can simplify to negative 9 over 1. 5 halves is already simplified. What we do with these fractions is these fractions give us our 2 binomials. The x is going to go with the bottom number, and now we read it off. From this first one we have a positive 1x, or just x, minus 9. And from the second fraction we get 2x plus 5, plus because 5 is positive there, and that's the factored polynomial. Let's do a second example. Here's a second example. Okay, we're going to start off the same way. Multiply the first and last numbers together. We need 2 numbers that multiply together to give me that negative 24, but when I add them up, I get the middle term of negative 10. Okay, so out here to the side, I'm going to list out all my factors of 24. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, and 4 times 6. Okay, the combination that's going to give me negative 10 when I add them up is 2 and negative 12. Here's where that twist comes in. Take the numbers that you just found, make them the numerators of fractions. Take the number that's in front of your x squared and put it as the denominator. The x is going to go with the denominator. Now I want you to simplify each fraction as much as possible. This one is already simplified. My second one simplifies to negative 4 over 1. And here's where our binomials are. From the first fraction, I get 3x plus 2, since the 2 is positive. From the second one, I get x minus 4. And this is my factored polynomial. Let's look at a third example. Here's my third example, and I'm going to start off the same way again. You take the first and last numbers, multiply them together. We need two numbers that multiply together to give me that 20, but when I add them up, I get the middle coefficient of 12. I'm going to come over here and list out all my factors of 20. 1 times 20, 2 times 10, and 4 times 5. The combination that adds up to give me 12 is 2 and 10. Positive 2, positive 10. Here's that twist. Take the numbers you just found and make them part of your numerators. Make the 4, or the number that's in front of the variable squared, the denominator. Simplify these fractions as much as possible. 2 over 4 simplifies to 1 over 2. 10 over 4 simplifies to 5 over 2. The variable goes with the bottom. And now we have our two binomials. Here's the first one, 2t plus 1. Again, we use a plus sign because our 1 is positive. Second one, 2t plus 5. And here's our factored polynomial. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, little trick, a little twist on the factoring trinomials.